Hello, my name's Alan Kerry. Welcome to another podcast from South Essex GP Training. With me I have Sunil Gupta, and we're going to talk about the hidden agenda in GP consultations. So Sunil, what is the hidden agenda in a consultation?
One definition of the hidden agenda is when the patient's presenting complaint is not the real reason why they've come to see the doctor.
Why does the hidden agenda exist?
There could be a number of reasons why the hidden agenda exists. The patient could be embarrassed to talk about the problem, e.g. it could be erectile dysfunction or sexually transmitted disease or depression. The patient might not be sure that they could trust this particular doctor, or that they might be worried about confidentiality being maintained. And another reason is the patient might not be sure that the problem is a legitimate problem to present to a GP, e.g. a problem to do with bereavement or money problems or domestic abuse.
Can you tell us what clues there might be that might make us suspect there may be a hidden agenda?
Some clues could be things like the body language of the patient, if there's lack of eye contact, if the patient appears nervous or embarrassed. Some other clues, things like if the problem mentioned by the patient appears to be very trivial, or the symptoms which the patient reports don't seem to make sense or are inconsistent. And also maybe some patients are more likely to have a hidden agenda, e.g. teenagers.
So what are the types of hidden agenda?
There can be quite a large number of types of hidden agendas. A patient could be scared that they've got a particular illness, but they don't want to say it outright in the beginning of the consultation, so they might be scared that they've got cancer, or they're scared they've got a heart problem or sexually transmitted disease. The patient might have a problem, but they don't want to talk about it right at the beginning of the consultation, to do with sex, like erectile dysfunction or wanting to be started on the contraceptive pill. The patient could have a relationship problem, or they could be going through a divorce. There could be some abuse going on, which could be domestic violence, elder abuse, sexual abuse. The patient could have a mental health problem, which they don't mention straight at the beginning of the consultation, things like depression, anxiety, bereavement. There could be some sort of addiction, be it to alcohol, drugs or gambling. The patient may have a work problem, which is causing them a lot of stress and distress, but they don't talk about it at the beginning of a consultation, e.g. stress at work or long hours at work or bullying at work. Other types of things which could be going on in the patient's mind is they could be worried about a relative, or they could have debt problems. And the other thing is, like you've pointed out in the past, is the patient might want something from the doctor which they do not openly ask for, but they're not happy with the consultation unless they get it. So they might want a referral, an investigation, e.g. an X-ray or blood test, or they might want a prescription, or they might want a reassurance, or they might want a certificate to be off work. And the doctor can do a very good medical history and examination, but unless they actually find out what the patient wants and deals with that, the patient will go away unhappy.
So what can GPs do to try to uncover the hidden agenda?
I think it's important that GPs try to maintain an open consultation style, and particularly letting the patient speak uninterrupted at the beginning of the consultation. The GP should try to establish rapport, be empathetic, sympathetic and show understanding. Other things which help are summarising and reflecting back to the patient what they have said. I think the GP should look at the patient, not the computer screen, and pay them attention and be open to subtle cues and hints that the patient may drop. It's important that the patient has enough time and the GP doesn't look like they're hurried and just wants to get the patient out of the room. If the patient presents with a trivial complaint and is almost like testing out the doctor, it's important that the GP deals with that trivial complaint competently. And I think it's really important that the GP uses non-verbal and verbal communication skills to try and find out the patient's ideas, concerns and expectations. And there's certain phrases which can sometimes help to uncover the hidden agenda. And these phrases are some things like, is there anything else bothering you? Is there anything else you wanted to talk about today? Are you worried these symptoms are due to anything in particular? Is there anything in particular you were hoping to get from today's consultation? How are things at home? How are things at work? How are things at school? How's your mood? Now, I'm not suggesting that the GP uses all these phrases in every single consultation, but it's almost like having golf clubs, having these phrases available to be used where appropriate.
Are there any other comments you'd like to say about the hidden agenda?
But there are some. It's important to uncover the hidden agenda, but there's practicalities in life, and there's situations where the GP may not wish to uncover the hidden agenda on a particular day, e.g. if the doctor's running very late, if they're not emotionally ready, or if the doctor has particular sensitivities about that issue. And like a patient can have a hidden agenda, a doctor can also have a hidden agenda. The GP may want to get something out of a consultation which he or she may not disclose to the patient, and this can include things like collecting data for quality and outcome frameworks. If the GP is running late, they may want to finish the consultation quickly. The GP can have a hidden agenda about wanting to decrease referrals or to prescribe cheaper medication. And the hidden agenda can exist in consultations, but it can exist in other situations as well. It can exist in things like in GP partnership meetings, where there's meetings between doctors and staff in GP surgery, and where there's meetings between GPs and the primary care trust. So this concept of the hidden agenda has a wider role rather than just in a GP consultation.
Thank you, Sunil. So in conclusion, patients sometimes do not mention the real reason why they come to see their GP. It's the job of the GP to help the patient reveal their hidden agenda in order that the patient can be helped with their problem. Thank you for listening to this podcast. We hope that you'll try some of the other podcasts available on this website.